So my job here is to just help us recap what we learned yesterday, because the feedback we got was that we were moving a bit too fast, so we would want to just go over what we did yesterday and then to practice a bit. So it's nothing new, it's to just refresh our minds on what we did yesterday. I hope this is fine. So from the beginning, so if you couldn't also follow yesterday, you can start and then we can end together to where the model was first run. So we got this installation files yesterday, and then we have an idea at least of what each of them contains. So we installed our WinApex from the software. So if you didn't install it yesterday, this is a chance to try to install it. And then we also installed the Apex Qt. And then, as you already may have noticed, in addition to the main software, we have supporting tools that help us to achieve our aim. We learned yesterday that for us to properly set up our model and make it run to achieve the desired results, we need some different input data sets. And for these input data sets, sometimes you need them in a specific format that you may maybe take too long a time to be able to format and then prepare it into the form that WinApex can take. So this is the reason why there are add-ons like the tool for or software, or let's just call it an Excel macro, to be able to help you generate and prepare some of the data sets. So these are add-ons. For example, also there's core hydrology for getting additional data sets in case you don't have details of the soil data sets that you have. For example, you know the soil type, clay, sandy, loam, but you want to know additional details. So that is why you see that the WinApex has a lot of stand-alone supporting tools. Yes, so back to what we did yesterday. Yes, so after successfully installing our software, the first thing we did was to just make sure that our settings was in the metric system. And then since the database has a lot of different databases, we made sure to set it to Ethiopia. We have Texas Central, we have, so the first thing you would want to do is to prepare your database and then upload it. So this already we have, so we didn't have troubles with it. So before we created our digital watershed, it came with a default Robit and also sample. After installing, one thing that I like to do is, if I want to make sure that the installation has been completed successfully, you can just simply set it to these two and then run it and see. Sometimes you may not be patient enough in the installation process, probably it will not complete successfully. So you will see that even after going through all the processes, your tool will never run. So it's good that after installation you check to make sure that it runs, then you can go ahead and then do the rest of the activities that you want to do. So okay, I don't know what this is. So at the first point, we discussed about adding owner files, and then we learned that this is necessary if we want to include herds in our simulation. For example, you have cattle in addition to your cropping systems. Your cattle is contributing manure on your farm. Your cattle is grazing on the land. So this is necessary when you want to look at such kind of simulations. But for the purposes of our study, we are not doing that, and so we won't go into details on that. Please, are you all with me? I believe you all were able to successfully install it. So yeah, there's no problem with that. What is happening to your computer? Is everything okay? Okay. Okay. So we went ahead to name our watershed. I remember we used Gangesta, and then we selected our weather station, Dangila, naturally. I'm not going to go through this again. So you realize that immediately you select the weather station, the details come along with it. So these are the longitudes, latitudes, and then the elevation. You would want to ensure that you fill out all the orange portions because they are mandatory before the model can run. And as for the blue ones, you can leave them at the default settings. And as you proceed and know more about your watershed, you can always come back and then tune it to your taste. No, I don't want to create a new watershed. No.
Say yes.
So I remember that we did not edit our watershed. We will look at that later. And then we learned about how to add our own control files, tune it to our area and whatever we want. So there are ways of doing this. You can add a new record, you can add new record using existing record, and you can edit record. And since there is already an existing record, the easiest would be to just edit it. And by editing the record, we yeah. We are not going to do any edits this morning because we already went through this. So the good thing about this tool is that in case you have problems understanding, is it possible to how do I move it up? I don't like this. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, at least we can see something. Okay, I want us to see this part. Yes. Please, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to make notes here. It's fine. So the good thing about this model is that um, in case you want to have details of what is being discussed, you just click and then you have information. So for example, number of years of simulation, you can just read and know. So we can simulate from 1 year up to 100 years. However, 20 to 30 years may be adequate for frequency distribution analysis or even for climate change analysis. So when you point to any of them, they will give you idea of what you want. So for example, beginning month, beginning day, print code. So yesterday we learned that if you use the print code 3, it's referring to the monthly time scale. Yes. So you don't need to shift between this and the program or the step-by-step program when you get you can simply read from here even before this. So we can change the mode of estimating our PET, Taylor, average, montage, all that we can edit and change here. Okay, so edit all other files. This we will have a detailed look at later on. So I remember that we successfully did this and then we ran the model. Yeah. Please, were we all able to run our models yesterday? If you were not able to do it, this is your last call. So we can proceed, right? Okay.
Saya pun ada tanya.
Okay, so after successfully running your model, one thing that you would want to do is to, um, so this is like the main area where you do all your activities, right? And once you have set up the model, it is necessary that you keep this as it is, because if you have problems in future, you can always come to this part of the program where you don't interfere with the interface. Which is why it would be useful to just copy after running your model for the first time. You copy all these things here and you create a folder. You can name it however you want to. Just be sure that you'll be able to go back to it when you need. So this is the main reason why we copied our data set here, because this is where we'll be playing. We won't go back to open the WinApex. It's not necessary at this point after setting the model. So you can just come to this and then run your model, change the database, do everything that you want to do. So in case you have problems, you can always go back to your master file and then restart without losing out too much information. So yesterday we also learned about how we could read some of the output files. I hope that you all were able to install your Notepad++. So yesterday we looked at the ACY file, which is the annual sub-basin crop yield file. So we will try to open and see what we have in there. Um, so yes, if you want to have an idea of how your yield is doing, you can see that here for what we run 20 years with corn from 1990 to 2009. So this is the grain yield. This is the forage. We have 0. This is the biomass. And then water stress, nitrogen stress, phosphorus stress, potassium stress, on and on and on. So these are some of the details you can have in addition to your grain yield simulation. So you can decide to plot this on a graph to see how the yield is being affected. For example, when you quickly have a look at nitrogen stress, for example, so when you look at the nitrogen stress, you will see that from, for example, 1990 to 1996 is not a problem. But in between, you will see that there are some nitrogen stress periods in between. As for potassium, there is no stress. So this gives you an idea of what management practice to introduce into your model. Right. So these are some of the details that you can have at a first glance from the runs. And then we also would want to have a look at our another important file to look at will be the .asa file, annual sub-area file. Yes, and this is very important because it gives an information on the water balance components. So here you have information on the rainfall, PET, ET, circulation, subsurface flow, and then surface runoff. So if you want to see how the rainfall which is coming onto your plot or field is being distributed, this is a place that you might want to look at. So for the sake of time, maybe we can have an assignment. I don't know if we have the chance to do it now, but I'll just Please, are we all okay with this part? Ask questions if you have them, but I'm going to be generous. I'm going to be showing you how we have mapped some of these things. Yes, so for example, after running your model, you would want to know how rainfall is being distributed in the field. So for this particular result that we have, you see that we have average rainfall of this much, um, and this much of it is translating into, it's being evapotranspirated, runoff is this much, and then subsurface flow is this much. So these are some of the details that you can have. So you see that of this rainfall coming in, this is how it's being distributed in the watershed. So you can practice in your free time. You can just look at your model, copy the things that you would want to see translated. It goes on and on and on. These are all described in detail in the manual. So I try to make it as simple as possible. Did I make some sense?
Yeah.
So if you have any question, you can ask, but you can show them how to do the water balance and then we may round.
Oh, we should do them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Water balance. I mean, we can copy.
Copy into Excel.
Yeah, and see how the water balance is distributed.
Okay, it would be nice to go around and do this. So we can try this exercise. So for now, these are important water balance components. So maybe try to open your .asa file and then we do it together. Do you understand the assignment? I can go over. Let me go over once more. I'm closing this. I'm closing everything. So go to your results. Open the results. So from here, from the main, yesterday, did you all create the folder results? Do you have the folder results? Okay, so open that folder. If you don't have the folder, let me know. You have it?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't have it, okay. So if you don't have it, please watch me. If you don't have that folder, if you don't have the folder, open Apex Pro. Just copy everything. Control A, close. And then just open
Desktop.
all.
Go to desktop.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Then just create a new folder result and then paste everything. So it's like we are trying to protect our master file. We are trying to protect this one so that in case you have issues, you know that you can always copy it again and start working with it. So once you have results, you go to type this one,
Yes.
this one. Just open it and then .asa file. So it will bring out the ASA file, annual sub-area file. So you open that one. Okay, so now we want to create our own water balance components. So I'm just going to desktop. Excel. Okay, I'll just call it water balance component. You can create this in your results. I mean, you can create this Excel sheet in your results. Yeah. So you want to see the water balance component. So you copy the most important thing. So we are interested in the year, right? We are interested in the precipitation, the rainfall coming in. We are interested in the PET. We are interested in speculation. We are interested in runoff. We are interested in subsurface flow. So let's try to make this graph and analyze.
How you select it?
I'm coming.
እዚህ ጋር ነው ታውቃለህ እያደረገች ነው። እዚህ ጋር ሴሌክት አደረገች።
How do you select one column?
Ah, okay. So let me show you something. I also learned it. It will help us all.
Yeah,
So let me show you while I also practice. I hope I didn't forget.
you select it already.
I did, right? So you want to select not everything, but column by column. For example, precipitation. You touch on your shift and alt keys, and then you bring it down. Yes, it works.
Yeah, control.
Shift, alt, and then you bring it down, and then you copy and paste in your Excel, so that you don't copy everything. Yes, let's do it again. So shift, you put it at the first point, and then you do shift and alt
It
together.
works. Sir.
Oh,
ይቺ ነው
Shift and Alt.
እዛስ ወርታች
sorry, I was not watching.
shift alt ከዛስ
Shift and Alt. ከዛ ኮፒ ወደ ታች።
I still change. I'm changing the language, right? It's fine. Yes. So shift, alt, you bring it here, and then you just copy it and paste it. So I'm coming around. I'll come.
Yeah, it's fine.
how many data we select
So
precipitation
we are interested in the rainfall and how much is going to be in the saturated speculation.
ምን ላይ እንጽፈዋለን?
PSK file.
ሽፍት ያድርግ ወደ ቻለች ችግር ነው። ምን ምንድን ነው የወሰድኩት? ፒአርኬ ምንድን ነው? ይሄ አያስፈልግም ነው። ኪው
ሌላ ወይም
አይ ቀላል ሶፍትዌር ነው። የዳታቤዙ ከኋላ እንዴት ነው የሚሰራው? እሱም ዋናው እሱ ነው። ይሄ ቀላል ነው። ዋናው ፈተና እዛ ላይ ያለ ይመስለኛል። ይሄንን ለማምዱ ነው ኢንተረስትድ እንድንሆን ነው። ሲትን የመረጥኩ አምስት ፓራሜትር ነው። ይሄ ግን አይደለም ዳታ ወደ ላይ መልስ አይደለም። ይሄ ስራው ይሄ አይደለም።
ወደ ኤክሴል ያመጣል።
ኧረ ይሄ አይደለም።
ኤስኤ ፋይል እኮ ነው።
ኤስኤ ፋይል ያንተ ሲት ነው።
ኤስኤ እኮ ነው።
አዎ እዚህ ጋር ለምን ሲት ይላል ታዲያ?
የት አለ?
ራሱ አይ በዛ ያንተ
እንትኑ ነው
ከዘጠና ጀምሮ እስከ 2000 ምናምን ታይም ስቴፑ በስቷል።
በእኔ በደወል ነው አራ ያረኩት
እንደዛ በላይ
እዚህ ሙዚቃ ከገባ በኋላ እነዚህ ነው መጣ ይሄ
When you use the graph, it's important to use the Excel file here. I already provide the Excel provide meshing graph here.
Okay.
So you can open this part. And so this is the Excel file. You don't have to use a new Excel file because that takes some time. So from the output file, you just copy. For example, this is the from ASL file. You copy the presentation, bring it here. Also copy the evapotranspiration, percolation, surface runoff, and subsurface flow. And just we would like to visualize the percentage distributions of rainfall into the different water balance components. So you just bring the value from here to here. So do not use any Excel file. I mean that takes you more time.
ini ምንም አልመጣም እኔ ባዶ ነው ኤስኤስኤፍ ያው ነው በዳንጊስታ ለውጥ የለውም እኔ
ራሱ ቁጥሩ ለምን ያስቀምጣል?
ዳንግላ ውስጥ ነው ዳንግላ
ዋጋውን
የቱ አካባቢ ነው? ከዳንግላ ወዴት ነው?
ወደ
ወደ ጎጃም ስትሄድ
ቻግኒ
በቻለ በኩል እዛ ነው ማዶ። ቆይ ከዚህ ወደ ባህር ዳር ስትሄድ ያለው ዳንግላ እንጅባራ ነው። እሱ አዊ ነው። እሱ አዊ ነው ማለት ነው። ያኛው ነው ወደ አገው ያምታቱኛል ብዙ ጊዜ አዊን አገው እንጅባራ ሴት
አገው ማለት እኮ አዊ ነው።
እሱን የሚያምታታኝ አዊና አገው ነው። አዊ እንጅባራ ያለው መሆኑና አገው ደግሞ ዳንግላ መሆኑ ያምታታኛል። ሁለቱን አቀያይራቸዋለሁ። አንዳንዴ አገው እንጅባራ ያለው ይመስላል።
ያኛው መስመር ወደ መስመር
አይደለም ከዚህ ባህር ዳር ስትሄድ የምታገኘው አለ አዊ እንጅባራ አገው ነው ብዬ አስባለሁ። አንዳንዴ ደግሞ እሱ አዊ ያስባል።
አገው
እሺ አዊስ
እኮ ያዕቆብ ቤተሰብ ሆነ አንድ ከተማ ናት።
ራሳቸው ይቻላል። እሺ አገው
ይህኛው አገው ምንድነው ግን ደግሞ ትርጉም
ጎጃም ጋር ያሉት አሉ። በላይ ማዶ ጎንደር ማዶ ያሉት ደግሞ አንድ ናቸው።
ያኛው እኮ ናቸው ድሮ በድርቅ
አዊ ብሔረሰብ ብሎ ነው የሚጠሩት። ለዛ እኔ ብሔር ይመስሉኛል።
ብሔረሰብ
እሱን ያለየሁት እኔ የተለያዩ ኢንዲፔንደንት መስሎኝ ግን ኦልተርኔቲቭሊ ሳሳታለሁ።
And contour good infiltration for land condition, if you remember. So the one that you are visualizing now is the output for this management, for these two managements. Okay, on dry land no-till for management condition and contour good infiltration. Let's say this is a baseline, okay, and you would like to visualize what will happen if you change the management condition and land condition of the field. What will happen to the water balance component and what will happen to the crop yield component. Okay, so the one that we are visualizing now, if you already copied everything here, that is the baseline. Did you copy all? Yeah? Yeah. So we have precipitation, we have ET, so we have the population, and we have the surface runoff. And surface runoff. So we have the this. So this is the baseline. So also let us copy the this crop yield condition for the baseline. Okay, this one is ASA file, annual surface area file for the water balance, and this is annual crop yield file. Okay, so let's see the annual crop yield file, SEY. So you can copy the yield in similar fashion and put it here. Corn yield. This is with fertilizer. So we will do without fertilizer another scenario. So let's put this one here with fertilizer the yield, and then we have water stress days. Also let's bring the water stress days here. You can also bring the nitrogen stress days as almost close to zero, because this management is with fertilizer. Phosphorus stress is zero, almost zero. So you can put it here, and the highest value that we have is the temperature stress value. So put the temperature stress here. So this is the baseline for the crop and for the water balance. Now we would like to change this baseline into the first scenario is corn dry land no till. That is no change in the management condition, but only on the tillage here. On the land condition we use the straight row pouring filtration. And let's see how it changes with the water balance and with the crop yield. In the second scenario, we change the land management from corn dry land no till to corn dry land conventional till, but no change in the land condition. Okay. So in order to change the steps are here also. So you go to the WinApex interface. And if you go there, you have edit all other files, and you come to waterfall editor. So from the waterfall editor, the available watershed will be listed here. So we had the Dengishta watershed, and then we go to Edith area. So if you see LCNO, this is the land condition. You know, the land condition that you can change onto good infiltration. So are we changing the land condition or? Yes, we are changing the land condition now to contour good infiltration. And I mean the land condition, yeah, the management condition, uh, it is still will be called dry land motif. So it is the same with the baseline. Only we are changing the land condition. So this LCNO, if you see it here, it is a land condition. Okay. So there are different land conditions here. Now let's choose the straight row pool infiltration. Straight row pool infiltration. And accept the changes. Yes. And accept changes. And you can go back until you become on the first page. Now we have this the land management. Energy analysis. So we change the land management. So now you can only select the watershed Dangishta and the control file, the one that you have created. So Dangishta now is modified, you know, the land condition is modified. And you can run it. And okay. So let us exit from here. And in similar fashion, we go to our directory to bring the result. So we now Apex Pro, copy what is available inside Control A and Control C, and go to your Apex 2023 training folder. You can create a new folder here, Scenario 1. Scenario 1, and paste it here. Remember, the previous result is the baseline result. So the one that we said result previously, you can edit it to baseline. That is the baseline result. Scenario, and you can run it inside the scenario 1 also. What we are going to do is that in the scenario 1 of our Excel template, using similar fashion, you just need to bring the precipitation, ET, calculation, and everything here. And let's see the changes in the water balance between the baseline and the scenario. So you go to scenario 1 folder, open annual sub area file ASA, and copy the precipitation, ET, calculation, Q, and subsurface flow. And then let's see the changes associated with the baseline. So I'm stopping for a few minutes here until you all do your result and see what is the difference between the baseline and scenario 1. And also make sure you copy the profile file. If there is a change, you can see. But now let's focus on the baseline, on the scenario 1, only on the water balance. So bring the water balance component and provide it here. we need to help.
ሰርፈስ ፍሎ አሁንም የኔ ዜሮ ነው። የቀደሙም ዜሮ ነው፣ አሁንም ዜሮ ከሌለ ምን ለብቻ ነው እንደ ዳታ ሰጣችሁ?
Yeah, but it runs with it can run by this also. The only problem is from the watershed. So I cannot get the problem. But I have exercise very difficult.
Yeah, this one. If we need to have it.
Try to solve it or we create a new model. Try to solve it. Check.
So let's see the scenario. Scenario one. So scenario one ላይ የመጀመሪያው ፔጅ ላይ ምንድነው? Form drive ነው management condition. Land condition is contour good infiltration. Scenario one, there is no difference between the baseline and scenario one. I mean for the management. For the land, we change the contour to straight rope and from good infiltration to poor infiltration. Okay? So in the wind apex interface, you go edit all other files. And the step is also here, available here. Okay. Edit all other files, then you have watershed editor. You can go to the watershed editor and then you select your own watershed and get started. And there are two options, edit general watershed variables and edit sub-area. We choose edit sub-area. So this is the sub-area variables. Each of them have different variables. But for the land condition, it is LCNO. If you click on it, it is the land condition. And an option will come here to choose. So we choose a straight rope for infiltration. Once you select, you just say yes, and you save changes. Then you go back multiple times until you reach to the first page. Here. Then you select the watershed and you select the control file to run it again. So once you run this, you have an output, right, in the wind apex directory. So you run it. Okay, done. You exit from here and go to the wind apex directory, apex probe, and copy this all and go to your apex training material, create a new folder called scenario 1 and put it there. And then you can copy the water balance component here, the scenario 1 of the Excel. Patty, do you want to do it? Slow on.
Okay.
ዶክ የኔ ሰብሰርፈስ ፍሎ ሁለቱም ላይ ኦልሞስት ዜሮ ነው።
ሰርፌስ ፍሎ በፕሮቴብል ስለሆነ ብዙም አይኖረንም። ትልቅ ወተርሼድ ሲኖረን ነው በአብዛኛው
So I'll try. If I can make it a bit slower.
እና አብዛኛው የኔም እኮ ወደ ኦልሞስት ክሎዝ ቱ ዚሮ ስሞል ፕሮቴብል ስንሰራ እንደዛ ነው።
So the main point here is that you see that when you have a plot of land, you are aiming to optimize production. You are trying to care about the environment. You are trying to care about the money you have. So sometimes you do a lot of things on the plot of land. So for example, you are practicing contouring, okay, and you have good infiltration, soil with very good infiltration, okay. That will be a possibility, an option. But we want to know, what if we now move from contour to straight and the infiltration is poor? What will happen? So this is the main reason of this exercise. So for what we ran yesterday, we ran corn on a dry land with no tillage. That was what we did. Somebody will say that, okay, what if on my farm it's not corn and it is maize? What if it's potato? What if it's cocoa? Okay, so there are different ways by which you can make scenarios. And then for example, we had corn, dry land, no tillage. And what was the condition of our land? Our land was a contoured one with very good infiltration, okay? We have seen how the water balance components played out here, okay? So now we know that for our water balance component, this percentage is going out as ET, this percentage is coming as discharge, and so on and so forth. Now, the main reason of this exercise is to see what will happen if the land condition was not contoured, but it's straight row. And this time, it doesn't have good infiltration, but it has poor infiltration. So we want to just compare and see how these different land conditions will have on the water balance component and also on the yield. So to change, did you close your winner first?
Yeah.
Okay. So to do this, yeah, we still have so we go to edit all other files. We want to edit the watershed. We have to select our watershed and then we edit the sub-area file. So if you want to see what each of these mean, so this is the country name. So once you click on it, you will have an idea of what is being talked about. So like he said, the LCNO is the land condition. Remember that we don't want to change management condition, right? We want to change land condition for scenario 1. So we don't have to tamper with the management, but we just go straight to land condition and we change from contoured good infiltration to straight row poor infiltration. So that's just what we've been asked to do. So yeah, he already changed it. So at first it was contoured, but now we want to do this. So you save it. Okay, let me see if I can. So you save it and then you go back. It is saying straight row pour infiltration. Then we save it because this is what we've been asked to do. We want to see our, so you change to this. Okay. Then once you run it, you are sure that your Apex Pro will have the new information that you just ran. You know, the first time we ran it with contoured and we saved it as result, but now we changed it to baseline because we want to see how different changes in management or land will have on the water balance component or the yield. If you have a question, you can ask.
Is it replacing the
Yes, it is replacing, which is why saving it is necessary because each time you run, you change it. So you see what we ran yesterday, we call the results. So now that we run this one, it's not the same as what we had yesterday, it's different. So for the sake of the analysis and to see how the differences play out, that's why we said we should change just results to baseline so that we can compare our baseline condition with the different scenarios. So again here, because we will run again and again, it's good that you copy everything here and then create a new folder, scenario 1 or scenario A, and then you put them here. So once you have your scenario A, you know that all the information here translates to this scenario 1. It is still corn, the crop hasn't changed, the management condition hasn't changed, it's only land condition which has changed. So now the exercise that we've been asked to do is that for this information that we have, we should look at the ASA first, yeah, the water balance first. Okay. So again, you will need your year, you will need your rainfall, you will need your ET, you will need your percolation, you will need your runoff, you will need your subsurface flow. So this is for the purposes of looking at how a change in land management affects the water balance component. That's all. So this is our task.
Cannot affect precipitation. Cannot affect precipitation.
Yeah.
No, rainfall will not be affected because the rain.
That's the input. So let's then copy. Let's copy the SA file. So I'm just copying the
Transpiration heating consumption.
basically
And water as
Ini cuma berapa transparan.
water is everyone see
Berapa transparan.
Harkis control population
Ya,
population control
populasi ini full.
QW
so I'm
Q
changing
control
Salah. Populasi
the water balance.
Q ini apa namanya?
Jamron
Okay. ET.
Team Jamron. What is scenario?
Who can interpret the result?
Itu camron.
Itu contoh.
Itu camron. Q camron. Q camron. If population ቀንሷል። ሰርፌስ ራኖፍ ቀንሷል። ሰብ ሰርፌስ ራኖፍ
Okay. Rainfall is the same. You can see that ET is 676, not that much. Percolation is 160 millimeter. 180. There is huge difference in this one, in the percolation. And runoff 745 at the baseline. It's now 790. Now you can see that the huge difference that we have. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes. So you can see that it is no much difference. Let me also increase the same. 8677 for the baseline, for scenario 1676, just 1 millimeter difference, right? And this is the percolation. It was 160 millimeter, and now it is 180. It is 52 millimeter less. What do you think is the reason? Interpret. Due to poor infiltration. We use poor infiltration, right? The runoff also increase, yeah. Yes. So the baseline the runoff was 745, and scenario 1 is about 790. So most of the infiltration is now gone as surface runoff because of the land condition. That is the effect on the water balance. So if you like to do more, you can change the management condition and keep the land condition as before, as the scenario. I mean, as the baseline for the land condition, but change the management condition to corn, dry land, from notice to conventional tillage. And let's see how the water balance varies with this one as well. So what we are going to do, we just go to the WinApex again. We like to change. Okay. So edit all other files. Watershed editor. Sub area. You select the sub area. So from this, I think it is IOPS, which is the operation schedule for the management. So this is the one that you change where from corn, dry land, no-till to corn, dry land, conventional field. So you change from this corn, dry land, no-till to corn, dry land, conventional field. From here, corn, dry land, conventional field. Corn, dry land, conventional field. Corn, dry land, conventional field. And then yes. Okay, you can save changes. And now, if you remember, we changed the land condition into straight row for scenario 1. We need to change it back from straight row full infiltration to contour full infiltration because we want to only see the effect of the tillage. Okay, so it is good infiltration, the same with the baseline. We just want to see the effect of no-till versus conventional tillage. So change back the land condition into contour good infiltration. Contour good infiltration, yes, and save changes. And you go back multiple times after changing these two until you come to the first page. And now you select the watershed. Now the watershed is already modified for the land condition and the management condition. And you use your control file, you run it. Okay. Again, you go to your directory to copy all the results, and then go to your folder, training folder, and make a new folder here, scenario 2. Scenario 2. You paste it here. Now open again the annual sub area file and provide here for dry land. This is conventional here. Here for dry land, conventional here with good infiltration. I want you to copy the station ET, all the ones that we already copied to here, and see if there is a difference with the baseline and also with scenario 1. What is the difference between the baseline and scenario 2? Also between scenario 1 and scenario 2. So this is how you just do. Huh? Huh? Right? Run it again. Okay. So from which shall I start? From edit all other files? Edit all other files, watershed editor, and you can select the watershed edit sub area. This way you change the land management and the operation schedule. The land management is LCNO. So it was straight row full infiltration equal LCNO. It was huh? Yeah. So we need to change the land condition back to the baseline. You see, this land condition control full infiltration. It was changed to straight row or scenario. Alright. Now we need to change it back to the baseline or scenario. For scenario, the change is only the management condition. So you select contour good infiltration. Yes, the changes, and IOPS is the operation schedule. Row number 3. So in this one, we would like to use for dry land conventional field. And yes, set changes. For dry land. This one, you see? This one.
እሱ ተራ ቁጥር ስንት ላይ ነው ያለው? እዛ
Sub or southern IOPS ይችላል።
ኦኬ ኦኬ
Once you change this, you go back multiple times to come to the first page and you select the watershed and the control file to run it. And copy all from your directory to here scenario. Now let's change, for example, let's copy like we did before for scenario 1. So copy the precipitation again and put it here. Copy ET. Put it here. again, hope is a percolation. Put it here. And hope is a runoff. Put it here. And lastly, the subsurface flow. Now see, for the baseline, the runoff for 677, scenario 2, 689. The baseline was, both of them, the land condition is contour, okay? Only the change was the tillage practice. So, because we are using the conventional till, okay, we increase the ET. No, that means we disturb the soil and make it expose it to the sunlight. So evapotranspiration increase, and you can see that the runoff is 762. The baseline was 745. As you know, the tillage practice increased the runoff. And percolation, it was 160. Now it is reduced to 133, 30 millimeter reduction.
But in that literature, actually, there are contrasting ideas that some of them say low-heat preserves the organic matter from the approach more water.
Yeah.
So there are no differences in the concentration kind of in the light that
Yeah.
conservation agriculture improves the soil.
Yeah.
And there are also some other literature that say that as we increase the heat, we disturb the soil or we build some restrictive layers that prevents the soil water. So we can fix that there, and the infiltration increases and the associated water process increases. So what do you say about this?
Honestly, I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You haven't done
I'm sorry.
Did you all heard that? No? I think you need to repeat it. I heard you, but for the team and for her.
now what I found from these two scenarios, I will compare scenario 1 to scenario 2. I mean, the baseline is scenario 2.
Yeah.
The baseline was with no tip, and in the base scenario, what we have changed it is from no tip to conventional tip. So the only difference is the soil tillage practice. In the literature, there are two contrasting ideas about the tillage practice. Some of the literature says that if we keep the soil no tip, so it will improve the organic matter content of the soil because we get no disturbing. So we are not disturbing about the biomass that we play about the organic matter in the nitrogen. So if there is no disturbance, the biomass will remain and the organic matter content will improve, and so it will make it absorb more water. So we can save water. Which means that can improve the infiltration and can reduce the surface runoff. So the soil water will absorb more water. But in the other literature it says that when we conduct tillage, we disturb the soil, we build restrictive layers which prevent the water from infiltrating into the soil. So it improves the pore space. So there will be more pore space will increase and more water will infiltrate. So it will increase the water absorptivity and it will reduce the surface runoff in associated water losses. So what I am asking is, what is the say about those two contrasting ideas? About the conventional tillage, which is normally used. Does it actually improve the water conservation or water absorption of the soil, or does it decrease?
Do you get it?
Yes, I get it. There are experts here who want to comment before I come in.
I just generally comment on such contrasting ideas in literature. If they are there, then the only option is to verify by yourself, conducting experiments, then carry out by yourself, check it, whether what they say true, who is true. So the third guy should come. It is you who has to just make it your results, and then if three are just there, then three ምስክሮች ሶስተኛው ምስክር አንተ ትሆንና
thousands of researchers saying
yeah,
conventional
it can be anything.
thousands saying the other side.
But believe yours.
So you
Right?
see, I
Experiment.
agree with him. You see that when we conduct experiments and we do results and discussions, what we normally do as researchers is to mostly look for literature which supports our findings, right? For these two contrasting things that you mentioned, each makes sense on its own, right? So I agree that based on your case study area and your conditions, you verify with your local conditions. Because each of them makes sense, if you ask me. Or
Can
like
I add
the
something on this? For example, if you, when you read your literatures, you have to follow some standards. For example, articles that's published by some not Scopus journals, highly indexed journals, you have to go for highly indexed journals. So to verify some of these issues, you can go for highly Scopus indexed articles. Then after, if still there is contrasting ideas, you can go for their comments.
Actually,
I have one point.
okay.
It is possible there is the word we worry about the development of the international, but depending on the condition of the market, it was to apply village practice based on the environmental conditions. There is one area, like go to the Conso or the Russia, there is shortage of water. Even if there is little amount of precipitation per annum. So they have need to conserve water, but they apply their village practice. Even if using what they have harvesting method, hybrid methods to collect water and also terracing method are how to control it. So when it comes to the other amount of precipitation as well as irrigation availability, they use irrigation water. So it's depending on the condition. The literature is also based on the environment, but as the doctor says, it's one of the hypotheses for you. If you need to read so many litteratures, you have to take as a hypothesis and you have to conduct experiment as well as also you have to.
But this might what mainly is because models are developed based on actual data collected. Someone collects data for every gives, and so based on that observation, they can start formula. So if someone is one, can be something like that. There are even certifications for syntaxes for that.
If you
So
want,
if my body is
meta-analysis, for example,
my body is the model developed across if you want to apply graphics, for example, it may be developed if nothing applied, so reduce something like that or increase the level or increase something based depending upon if actual if you are considering the actual research, it may depend as you have said, it may depend upon the actual conditions. But the models that one is already set up.
yeah, but still practice is recently climate resilient agriculture system. It's not practice, but currently it's one of the findings how to conserve agriculture, especially there is climate smart practice, not only village or diversity, as well as receivers as one of the conservation of moisture activities. So it's depending on the environment. Which environment is applied, village, conventional, minimum village, as well as also their village.
Yes, I understand.
It's better to compare a lot.
Look, it depends how based on the environment and the conditions. But if you don't have the resources to conduct actual research, for example, as we say in Congo, and I want to capture what is going on, which is the management conditions in home bioplanning in Athens. So model in what sense? It's a physical model in which one model one is saying, if don't village, when you apply don't village, it will increase or decrease compared to the functional. It will also depend on the conditions, the environmental conditions. So if you don't have the resources for the actual research, if you want to apply the model, find out learning the model in that one to apply the model.
For example, you mentioned about fertilizer management. Is that there is sufficient amount of fertilizer, but your crop is deeper to type of crop. So you need to conduct conventional leadership. Because this is the way once you research
Because it goes important.
So stimulating the soil. So the main idea is that the question is a research question by itself.
Yeah.
It's a research question by itself. Yeah, and I know there are also conflicting publications. I know them. So, but for no-till, for example, no-till practice might have increased infiltration somewhere, and it might decrease infiltration in some other places. So the difference could be one, it is the soil practice. I mean the soil characteristics. So the soil characteristics, you need to have your own soil properties. That is from lab analysis. If you incorporate it into your database, then whatever tillage practice happens, then it will have the soil characteristics, the actual soil characteristics. So it depends, the soil characteristics here and in the northern part of Libya, some other part of Libya is different. So no-till practice will not give the same result in every place. And also the weather condition varies. So every infiltration and runoff process regarding the soil also depends on the organic matter of the soil. This organic matter formation depends on the weather condition. So it also depends on the agroclimatic zones that we have, different agroclimatic zones. So the same tillage practice will not give the same result.
Yeah.
It will give different results depending on the soil, depending on the weather condition, depending on the agroclimatic zones. So when you do some literatures, for example, for your own case, first understand your own experiment in terms of weather, in terms of agroclimatic zone, in terms of soil characteristics, and then you might categorize the literatures based on your own interest. Does that make some sense?
Yeah.
So with this, we can go to the tea break. I know Misbah is doing his PhD.